within it, Pyramid Cave. There are a lot of little things that you can do in Pyramid Cave to make your speed.
A lot of epic movement is very crucial here. Ford gonna be getting out of the tunnels with a 13 check. Most players would go for 12. The ideal is 11. But that's super hard to get. Ford gonna be opting to go for a good strat here. Gonna be bouncing, gonna be spin dashing in between this cow box. Gonna be flying up in the air. Gonna allow him to save some time. Ford about to get the bounce bracelet, somersaulting away first. Ooh, and Sonic is just hating on him today. Sonic wants nothing to do with Ford here today, unfortunately. However, he gets through that section. After all that mess, he's gonna be bouncing up past the door. And he's gonna jump into this door, hopefully getting through the cracks, and gonna be entering a section faster than what casual gamers would do.
Yeah, normally if you don't skip through that door, you have to actually walk all the way left, pick up a key, flip a couple switches, walk all the way back, and that's just incredibly slow when you can skip the entire door. Ford opting not to go for Snake Skip, which is a very difficult skip, especially if you're not the most consistent at it. Getting the second loop skip though, and going into a super bounce on this wall. Getting the bounce excel after the super bounce, not bad at all. Ooh, this pit can be a real hindrance if you're not able to get out of there fast enough.
Ford getting pranked by these silly ghosts right now. I don't know how he's gonna get out of here. Ooh, and he gets out. Pretty fast indeed. Gonna be bouncing up. Ooh, and he misses the bounce up. Very unfortunate. Gonna be having to do casual strats, unfortunately. Ford gonna be getting out with a 208. Most runners would get, most runners want to target that 130 range. However, for Ford, I think it's pretty okay. Except that ghost thing. That was really scary.
Falling into that pit can lose you a lot of time very quickly. And speaking of losing a lot of time very quickly, Ford coming into Death Chamber, this stage is notorious for hating people. Also notorious for being the stage you get the hammer gloves, where you can punch through iron boxes as Knuckles, as you're going to be seeing Ford doing right there. Ford getting a decent first piece, going to check his second piece.
Ford gonna be digging through his way to his very second piece. Ooh. I don't know what piece he got. I
think he got above Omo Chow.
Oh, yeah, he did. Very decent RNG coming from Ford here. Very rough movement, though, I have to admit. Which is to be expected. Ford gonna be clipping out of bounds to reach this hot piece.
108 on Death Chamber is... I would accept that personally. I would be very happy with a 108 on Death Chamber.
Stellar
stage of higher caliber may not be as happy, but a Deathless
Stellar with the sickest 50s in the, you know. I'm glad to have you here, bud. Anyway, we're gonna be entering this ghost dangerous boss battle here. King Boom Boo has big teeth and an ugly mouth, but Ford's gonna clean him up, hopefully with the sickest one cycle of all time.
King Boom Boo, a boss that does not like it when you turn the lights on. The point of this run is to punch his ghost friend, turn the lights on, and punch King Boom Boo. If you played this game casually, maybe this took you 5 or 6 cycles, but Ford is going to be trying to keep up with King Boom Boo and hit him 4 times in one light. Pace looking good. He was close enough to get that fourth hit, and Ford does one cycle. King Boom Boo, 48-30. Ford coming into Egg Golem, pressing A to skip the Egg Golem, the Golem text sequence. It remains on screen, but he does not have to wait for it to go away. Looks like he's going to climb up the back of Egg Golem and not go for the super bounces, whichever strategy he wants.
Ford opting to go for safer strats here, making sense for a race.
The super bounces are a 5-frame
getting
window.
one platform, not going to come up to him. Ford's going to get his worst move. Dang.
Sometimes the platforms on Egg Golem really just do not want to extend out of his back, which would make sense if he were actually trying to kill Sonic, but he does not appear to be very good at it. Ford getting a super bounce.
Egg Golem doing a sloppy job with his moves right now, thinking that some stupid ballerina would hit Sonic. Ford, however, going to be trying to go for the sweet poverty bounce, but unfortunately misses it, going back into the sand. Ford, however, going to get on his arm, going to jump off his arm, opting to go for the back, which is very weird considering you can save some time by just spin dashing off his arm. Ford going to be doing death strats and finishing the boss fight with a 117. Very, very bad for Ford here.
Ford now entering the final chunk of the game, the space chunk, where none of the levels have walls. Eternal Engine does appear to have walls, but there will be a skip later that you can use to entirely skip most of it and fly through space until you get the goal.
It saves about a minute pretty fast. Ford also trying to get to the chase, trying to make this one cycle. Ford, I don't know if he's going to make it. Do you think he's going to make it?
I think he has potential. If he goes for the perfect weight hop, I'd say there's certainly potential to make it. Gets the switch, turns back around, gets caught on the boxes a little bit. That may affect his ability to get first cycle, but he is still going full speed ahead.
It might be possible for him to get first cycle. Anyway, Ford gonna be flying through space, trying to make this cycle. I don't think he's not gonna make the cycle, unfortunately. However, he's still gonna make it by. Ford opting to punch him instead of jumping into Artificial's head and shooting him down, unfortunately.
He was very close to getting that cycle. He is going to make the second cycle Eternal Engine, going for the clip out. You can clip out of the level geometry.
Ford clipping out, gonna be flying through space, hopefully.
I was actually nervous that he hit the kill plane. There is a kill plane there. It can be difficult to avoid. I know I have some trouble not hitting it sometimes when I get the later clip outs, but Ford just got a little bit of a stuck camera. Still able to get Eternal Engine skip without too much problem. Let's see how he handles the end of the stage. A lot of this last portion of the stage is falling as you are a decent bit above the goal ring. Ford has a pretty solid angle looking above this final tube, going to be falling through collision, touching the goal ring from behind and finishing with a 214.
214. Very, very okay for Ford, considering he got second cycle.
Yeah, second cycle 214 is certainly respectable. Coming up now for Ford is Meteor Herd, the final Knuckles stage. This stage less spread out than Death Chamber, if you can imagine, as pieces are not going to be spread out nearly as far horizontally, largely vertically. Near a Moon with a rotating beacon is not a horrible first piece.
Let's see if Ford gets a free piece. Ford doesn't seem like he's going to get a free piece. That could change, though.
Free
Floating
piece-
stone above a moon. Getting a garbage piece.
That is some
Truly
of
an unfortunate gaming moment for Ford right here.
one of the worst RNG seeds in the game. Floating stone above a moon is a very long piece to get, regardless of execution, normally seen as the worst or one of the worst pieces in the stage. Circle the rotating beacon, not too horrible, but certainly impeding his ability to get as good of a time as he would have wanted. 44.85. Again, a 45-second time. I would consider that rather good, considering all of these did happen in a row.
This meteor herd wasn't very good with his RNG.
The
Very
RNG was
unfortunate
certainly a
for Ford right
hindrance. The Rouge fight, some runners opt to get one safety ring at the start, although there is one setup that you can do to get it ringless. We're going to see which Ford is opting to go for.
Ford angling himself away, gonna be going for a safer strat here.
This strat is still certainly viable. Doing the handstands of justice, as they're called, spamming jump and drill dive to get Rouge damaged as much as possible, throwing out as many hitboxes as possible. A sub 17 is certainly solid.
Rouge is now dead. Sonic gonna be trying to not be dead as well. Sonic gonna be going through crazy gadget, a very fast moving stage. Let's see if Ford goes through it with smooth movement.
There is a very difficult skip in this stage and a pretty difficult skip in this stage. Depending on which one you choose, your time can be pretty different. We're going to see which variant Ford decides he wants to go for. He's been going for safer strats for most of this race, which is fair enough in a race setting. The checkpoint does not trigger.
Ford opting to go for the checkpoint. Checkpoint literally is just held up by sticks.
Refusing to trigger for him. It does look like Ford is going for CGS, which is a very difficult skip in its own right. Let's see if he can get it first try.
Ford's gonna be hitting artificial chaos. That allows him to get the sick light dash into this acid room. Gonna be bouncing off the wall. Gonna be trying to get out of balance.
Kills that second artificial chaos with not too much trouble. I have seen that particular chaos give runners a lot of difficulty. Lines up for the actual clip out of collision. How do you think his angle is, Dage?
Ooh, I don't know. Ford, ooh, gonna be missing it. A very, very unfortunate for Ford. Ooh, Ford is gonna be running into the acid. Accidentally, after missing CVS, this game is just being very, very...
That, of course, being the prime reason.
But Ford gonna be missing it.
The prime reason you go for that checkpoint with such fervor and with such attack is so that you can get not all the way sent back to the beginning of the stage. Losing that 30 seconds is huge, even if it does take a little bit of extra time to make sure the checkpoint triggers in the first place. Of course, that is the only checkpoint that tends to matter in this stage, so Ford skips the next one going into the tube.
Ford gonna be flying out the tube, trying to go for the flame ring. Let's see what he does. Gonna be opting to hit the gravity switch instead of just jumping for it. Pretty okay, I have to admit.
Gets the gravity switch back, the flame ring allowing Sonic to break iron boxes of his own. Coming up into the final leg of the stage, getting the light dash over that lava pit, and we're going to see him come up towards the puzzle soon. Hopefully Ford's practiced his puzzle skip recently, as a lot of runners do tend to reset if they are unable to get crazy gadget skip or crazy gadget skip depending on what they go for in offline runs. So he may be unpracticed at this particular variant, but we're going to see if that plays a part.
Ford going to be missing the switch, not going to be able to finish the game unless he hits this switch. gonna be jumping up this purple block, gonna be jumping to the goal ring area, gonna bounce into it, gonna finish the stage without dying.
It's very important to spin dash off of the bottom of that purple block so that you do not end up homing attacking onto the spring, as homing attacking onto that spring not only sends you back to the beginning of the puzzle, but also permanently affects the way the camera interacts with the skip and makes it very difficult to skip the puzzle. Eggman 2 Abaz notorious for destroying a lot of runners' hopes and dreams. Let's hope Ford is able to get him.
Ford gonna be opting for the sick minute. Gonna miss it though.
It's
Ford's
a very
gonna
difficult,
have a much harder time trying to fight this giant talking egg. Funny joke. Anyway, Ford gonna be shooting the cylinder to kill Eggman. Nuts.
It can be difficult to lure Eggman towards that explosive cylinders coming out of the middle, but they do a lot of damage to his health bar. It is certainly optimal to get him close to them if you're trying to do as much damage without the AI manipulation as possible.
Ford not only has to annihilate Eggman, but also Shadow 2. And also, he's going to have to go through Final Rush, a crazy rail stage that unfortunately, we're just gonna have to skip. It's a very unfortunate skip, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why the game designers thought this was good. But anyway, Ford gonna be bouncing with a ridiculous angle to get out of bounds. And then, I will allow him to get to the goal ring.
This trick mainly works because you change the way game reads gravity. Unfortunately...
Ooh, Ford gonna be hitting the kill plane. Gonna be losing some time here.
He goes for final rush skip again. Hopefully he does not end up getting destroyed by that same kill plane again. It looks like his alignment is different than the setup that I'm used to, so I can't tell you how long he's meant to wait before turning around, not hitting the first kill plane.
Gonna be turning around. Oof! Ford gonna be turning around just too late. Or his angle is headed for the kill plane. You don't know. Final rush skip can be a very... Final rush skip relies on a lot of variables.
Yeah, a lot of different things can go wrong, especially considering how much you have to ruin the game in order to get it to work. You have to trick gravity, you have to reset gravity to not be tricked anymore and go back to normal without making it infinite gravity. And you also have to avoid kill planes the game purposefully put in so that you could not skip. But SA2 runners do not like to listen to developers, and we are skipping most of the stage regardless.
Pretty nuts gaming coming from Ford right now.
Ford opting to stay in the circle cloud alignment. That is rather good. At least it's the one that I like to use as my little visual cue. Hopefully, he looks like he is going to be high enough. He might still get trolled by the invisible wall. No, he's going to be landing right on top of that goal ring.
Onto the goal ring. Going to be making it past the stage. Going to be getting out with a 124. The time most runners want to aim for that 120 or the sub 120. But it's okay, because Ford is by himself. We're gonna be entering the famous Shadow 2 boss, where he's gonna be beating down this black hedgehog one last time for the
Shadow 2 boss that can be in as little as 16 seconds if you are able to time your homing attacks properly. Let's see how Shadow decides to treat Ford. Going for the first hit.
Ooh, Ford's gonna be losing time on Shadow 2 due to this ridiculous black hedgehog.
Using the bounce bracelet to try and get an extra hit when Shadow is behind him and trying to move forward.
Ford finishes with a 43-29. I don't know how good that is for Ford. It was also very weird because EnPassant forfeited due to game lag.
An unfortunate circumstance from EnPassant.
Ending for EnPassant. However, Ford gonna be winning this race very, very committed.
Yeah, a rather impressive showing from Ford. Good to see him sticking through to the end. A 43:29, certainly a respectable time in a race setting. This is essentially a no reset run with higher stakes and higher nerves. So seeing a 43 is not bad at all.
It's pretty nuts, I have to admit. Anyway, follow the runners. If you want, you can follow us, I guess. I don't know.
Thank you very much
The
for watching
Speed
this.
Gaming will probably post it anyways in the chat because it's cool. But yeah, that's been your race.
Thank you
Thanks
very
for
much for
watching.
watching. This has been Dage 4 and Stellar for Ford
Signing off.
Signing off.
Spam your WQQQQ emotes if you want. If you want. I mean, I don't know. Good night.